mind, mental health and recovery. Welcome back to my live Q&As. I'm here for the next hour to answer any questions you might have, to talk about mental health, to talk about recovery, to raise awareness, and of course, to interact with you, great people on YouTube. And I am growing my community on YouTube. I can't wait to get a bigger community because there's more people I want to help, there's more people I want to reach, and there's a lot more my channel can do for them. As in, we can start the conversation about mental health, we can start the conversation around stigma, discrimination, and all of those things. So I'm here today for a live Q&A to talk about mental health. Let me just get the chat settings going. All messages. Okay, this is a live Q&A to talk about mental health, so please do get your questions in. If you're not watching live, do get in the comments below and let me know if you have any questions, if you don't manage to watch live. But this is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery. So that's what I'm here for the next hour, to talk about mental health and recovery. So get your questions in. Happy to answer any questions anyone might have. I'll answer as honestly as I can. As always, I'm always upfront. I am always as honest as I can be with my mental health diagnosis. So please do get your questions in. Good evening, Tash. Welcome. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery, so please get your questions in. This is a live Q&A, guys. So if you have any questions, don't forget to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and I'll start talking about what I wanted to talk about today, which is men's mental health and how important it is that we start that conversation surrounding men's mental health. Mushy Girl says hi. Hello, welcome, good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Mushy Girl says, I'm in Brighton, England. I'm in Cardiff, Wales. So it's good to see where people are watching from around the UK. And Brighton is a beautiful place. So welcome. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health. Mushy Girl says, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. Adjusting to new medication, adjusting to new tablets. But that's for the good. And I am continuing to be positive around that because I think it's important to be positive. I think it's important to hold on to hope, especially when there's so many men out there struggling and suffering in silence because they don't want to talk about their mental health because they're afraid of the discrimination, or they're afraid of the stigma, or they might feel less masculine for talking about mental health, when in fact it's the flip side of that. Is it takes immense courage and it takes immense strength to open up and talk about your mental health and express your feelings, because what you're going through is valid. Your trauma is valid, your feelings are valid, and you deserve help and you deserve support. So don't suffer in silence, because you don't have to. If I can talk about mental health on YouTube, then anyone can do it. I'm just a normal guy who's nothing special. I'm just me. I'm trying to talk about mental health. I have my diagnosis, and I'm working with that. But I'm just someone who's trying to start the conversation about mental health and help people and support people where possible. No matter what they've done in the past, no matter what they might do in the future, it's all about today. It's all about the moment. It's all about being who we are today and embracing that. Mushy Girl says, yes, mental health can be really hard. My best friend is a boy and he has depression, but he doesn't talk about it a lot. Yeah, and that's what, the theme of today's live Q&A is about men's mental health. is about getting more men talking about their mental health. So please, with your friend, keep encouraging him, keep being there for him, and keep showing him that you're showing up for him every single day. Jamal says, can you please say hi to Holly? Well, hello Holly, there's your shout out. Really appreciate you getting involved in the live chat. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health. So any questions, please do get those questions in. I'll answer them as best as I can. Like I said, I do need to put out a disclaimer, a channel disclaimer. I am not a mental health professional. I am not a therapist or a counsellor. I'm just someone who suffered with mental illness, and I like to talk about it to help me and help others talk about their mental health. Mushy says, you're so kind and not a lot of people are brave enough to talk about it. Well, thank you very much, Mushy Girl, for your comment. Really appreciate that. And I need to talk about it because it helps me and it also helps other people out there as well. Hannah says, hi, how are you today? I'm doing very well. Hannah, thank you. I hope you're doing well. This is a live Q&A so to talk about mental health and recovery, so get involved. Happy to answer any questions anyone might have regarding mental health or my channel or what where my channel is going, where I hope for it to go. I've had some really good videos launched this week, really good YouTube shorts about men's mental health, about the stigma that still surrounds men's mental health, that men are dying in silence and that men can't open up. Some really good content, especially YouTube shorts, so check those out, guys. Hannah says you are super kind. Thank you, Hannah. I tried to be. Like I said, everyone has a past. Everyone's done things that they would go back and change if they can. We're not broken. We're just human. We make mistakes, but we grow, we learn, and we move forward. And I'm just here to help people, support people, talk to people, and show that if I can talk about mental health, then anyone can do that. Mushy Girl says, can I ask what mental health you have? Yes, you can ask. I've been very open about my mental health diagnosis on my channel. I've been diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, clinical depression, and anxiety disorder, and ADHD. So that is my mental health diagnosis. Some days are good, some days are bad. But I've been diagnosed with all of those things, and that's what my challenges are. Hannah says, I'm going to like and subscribe. Really appreciate you subscribing. Please do, guys. Please do share. Please do like. This is an important conversation that needs to happen. We can save all these people who are losing every single year because they feel lonely. They feel like they're on their own when they're not. They can be a part of my channel. They can be a part of my community. They can be a part of our community. And they can subscribe to my channel and come and watch content that they can resonate with, that will support them in their journey on the road to recovery as well. So it's an important channel. It's an important message. And all I want to do with this channel is start a conversation about mental health and save people's lives. Mental health conversations save lives. Mental health conversations are extremely powerful, and we need to use that. Mushy Girl says, I have autism and anxiety, and it's a struggle. I know what you're feeling with anxiety. I have an anxiety disorder myself. It can really take over your life. It can really manifest in a very powerful way. But what we have to do is hold on to hope. What we have to do is get support. What we have to do is try and learn to live alongside our anxieties. And you can do that through support, through therapy, through counselling, through medication, whatever works for you, whatever avenue you decide to go down. Recovery is possible. And it's extremely important that you know that recovery is possible. Emma says, I have ADHD, anger issues, and autism. Sometimes, that's a really powerful comment, Emma. And I have ADHD. I have anger issues. I don't have autism, but I have PTSD and clinical depression. So I understand what you're feeling. Those thoughts that you're having, I'm very familiar with. because in 2022 I tried to end my life twice. Once in February of 2022 and once in May of 2022. I know what those suicidal thoughts are like. I know what those dark thoughts are like. I've been in that darkness. I've lived in that darkness. But I'm still here. And you're still here. That just shows me that you have survived 100% of your bad days, Emma. So don't give up. You're still here today. You're still talking about it. You still had the courage to talk about it. So keep going. MT79 N2Q says, "Are you a Jew?" No, I'm not a Jew. But this channel's not about politics. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health. Nothing else. Emma says, "Bye, thanks." You're very welcome, Emma. Don't give up. Keep moving forward. Hold on to hope. And recovery is possible. You just need to keep going. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health, guys, so please do get your questions in. I'll be happy to answer those as best and as honest as I can. Welcome if you're new to the channel. This channel is called Pieces of a Broken Mind, and I created it when I had my mental health diagnosis because my mind is broken, and I'm slowly putting the pieces back together. So welcome if you're new to the channel. This channel is all about raising awareness, challenging stigma, challenging discrimination surrounding mental health. So please do get your questions in, guys. Happy to answer any questions you might have about mental health. Or if there's just something you guys want to talk about, I'm here to engage, I'm here to talk, I'm here to connect, and I'm here to build a community that is fostered on empathy, sympathy, and empowerment. And you can talk about your mental health. You are strong enough to talk about your mental health. So reach out. Don't suffer in silence. Whether that be with a counsellor, a therapist, a nurse, mental health professional, whatever it may be, there's plenty of support out there for you. Mental health charities, and there's mental health groups, there's life coaches, there's many different things that you can reach out and ask for support. And yes, I know in some parts of the world, and especially in the UK, it's extremely hard to get the right type of mental health care because of the waiting lists, because of the waiting times. But sometimes you just have to invest in yourself. And if you could just invest a small amount in yourself and get yourself some therapy and get yourself some counselling, or work with a coach and work with a life coach, then that will be the best investment you ever have, because you'll have someone by your side to co-regulate how you're feeling. So invest in yourself, and don't wait around for treatment. Go and find it and invest in it. I pay privately for my therapy because I'm still waiting on the NHS for the right treatment for my PTSD. And I can only afford one session every fortnight, but I invest in myself because it's important. And if I didn't have my therapist and if I didn't have my counsellor, I wouldn't be here today. So that investment is important to me because she is a massive part of my recovery, and she's a massive part of what I'm going to do going forward, learning to live alongside my diagnosis. So invest in yourself, guys, whether that be through private therapy, private counselling, private coaching. I know it can be expensive, and I know therapy is expensive, and I pay what I pay, and I also know that coaching can be expensive, but there are life coaches out there that are affordable. There are counsellors out there that are affordable. There are therapists out there that are affordable. So look for the help that you need and get the right fit for you. Don't confuse therapy and coaching. Completely different things. Therapy and counselling deal with your trauma and your past, and your inner workings of the brain. Life coaching is if you want to progress in life, if you want to overcome obstacles, if you want to break down barriers, if you want to find new motivation, new purpose, then a life coach can do that for you. So, whatever avenue that works for you, because I know therapy is not for everyone. And some people don't like therapy. Some people don't feel any benefit from therapy. But for me and my own personal point of view, I needed therapy. It's helped me massively, and I encourage people to find whatever support works for them, but not to suffer in silence. Not to try and do it alone, because you don't have to do it alone. There's no point in doing it alone, because there are so many people out there who want to help, who want to be a part of your recovery journey. And that's why I created this channel, to show that even average normal guys like me can talk about mental health. And if I've got the courage to do that, then you guys have got the courage to do that as well. Ignore the hate, ignore the trolls, ignore the negativity that you will see online, because some people just want to see the world burn, and they can only deal in negativity. Don't let them project their fears onto you. Don't let them project their fears and their insecurities onto you. Ignore the hate, ignore the trolls, keep moving forward. Talk about your mental health, post that video, tell people your story on social media, because every story matters. Your story matters, my story matters, everyone's story matters. So if you've been pondering about getting help, investing in yourself, or talking about your life on social media, just do it. Just get it done. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone if you don't want to. You don't owe anyone anything. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to show up for yourself every day. Crimson says, another idiot, the first idiot in the chat, an absolute moron. So immediately blocked. See, guys, you can't do a live Q&A where you're trying to have an adult conversation about an important subject, because you get idiots like that guy, Crimson2405. You've been blocked, pal. Absolute idiot, absolute moron, and a simpleton, because he can't have an adult grown-up conversation about mental health. Absolute idiot. Do get your questions in, guys. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery. I am live twice a week on Pieces of a Broken Mind to talk about mental health. I'm live with you to answer your questions, to try and grow the channel. So that's what I'm here for. Happy to answer any questions. Please do be mindful of others. Keep your questions respectful of other people, or you'll just get blocked immediately. I haven't got time for idiots or morons when I'm trying to have a grown-up conversation about men's mental health. So yeah, fuck them. So if you have any questions about mental health, please do get them in. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery. I'm here to answer any questions anyone might have, of course. I'm here to also, try and grow the channel and grow the message. So, Pieces of a Broken Mind, I've been on YouTube a few years now. Just over 4,200 subscribers. So, slowly creeping up there. But, I really would like this channel to be something to be proud of, where you can all be proud. You can all be proud of it also. Sevi Ballesteros says hello from Ireland. Good evening, Sevi. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the live. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health. Apologies if I mispronounced your name. I've never been great with pronunciation. Sevi Ballesteros says, can you crip walk? I don't know what a crip walk is. Can't help you with that, I'm afraid. I've never heard of a crip walk. This is a live Q&A, and mental health and recovery is the topic. So if you have any questions about that. Sevi says conspiracy theories are a mental illness. Okay. I don't have any conspiracy theories, but if that's what you believe, then fantastic for you. I've never really heard of or heard anyone say that conspiracy theories are a mental illness. But are they? In my opinion, no. Conspiracy theories are just people's opinion, just people's thoughts and opinions on things. They're not facts. So no, I wouldn't say it's a mental illness. I just think it's an opinion. But like I said, that's my own personal opinion on what you're saying. Conspiracy theories are just people's opinion on a certain subject. That's all it is. Why? But they're not based in facts. No opinion is based in facts. Like I said, it's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. A conspiracy theory is someone projecting their opinion onto you. I.e. Earth theory, flat Earth theory. People are welcome and people entitled to their opinions. So if you believe that the Earth is flat, then well done, congratulations. But conspiracy theories are just people's opinions. They're not facts. Come on, brother. What do you mean, come on? I'm here to talk about mental health. I'm not here to discuss whether the Earth is flat or not. This is a mental health channel. Are you Afrikaners? No, I'm not Afrikaners. I'm not from Africa. No, I'm from the United Kingdom. But but everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome on my channel. Everyone is welcome to participate. Anyone is welcome to talk about mental health. You're starting to get on my nerves now, mate, so you're going to get blocked for your continuing idiotic questions about politics, and I don't care for politics. This is a mental health channel where I go live to talk about mental health and recovery, not answer questions on politics. So, yeah, jog on with that. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery and share your story. And I want to listen to your stories and engage with you guys and build a safe community where people can come and feel secure to talk about mental health. Not anything other than politics. I got no interest in talking about politics on this channel. This channel is a safe space for people to come and talk about mental health. And that's important to me, and it always will be, because I'm on that journey of mental health recovery. So, it's important to understand that. It's important to keep moving forward, and it's important to, keep pushing the message and sticking in my lane. My channel is very niche. It's just about mental health and recovery. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about anything else. I want to help people. I want to support people, and I want to show people they can talk about their mental health. So, anything. If you want to talk about anything else, take it elsewhere. This channel is to talk about mental health and recovery, and for me to have an outlet to share what's going on in my head and on my mental health journey, and for you guys to interact with that, ask questions, and get a shout out or get your comments read out. But this is a mental health live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery. So if you have any questions, please do get those questions in, and I will answer those ones as best as I can. And don't forget, this channel is somewhere where people can find content that they might resonate with, on depression, on men's mental health, on anxiety, on PTSD, on trauma. And they're all my videos are very honest, they're very raw, and they're very emotional. And I share my journey openly and honestly, and I face my feelings every single day. Every time I close my eyes, I have nightmares and flashbacks, and I face my feelings every single day. Because if you don't face your feelings, at some point in your life, your feelings will come back and face you when you don't want to. So stand your ground, face your feelings, get the help and support, and work through your trauma, and learn to live alongside whatever it is that you've been through. And that's the best advice I'd be able to give, as someone who's, in that boat of dealing with PTSD, and trauma. So it's important that you recognize that, and it's important that you recognize your importance, and never undersell yourself, never undervalue yourself, never let anyone dim your light, and make decisions based on what's best for you. Some decisions in life will be hard. Some decisions in life will test you, and will push you to the limit. But we have to be strong enough to make tough decisions in life. We have to be strong enough to walk away. We have to be strong enough to admit that we're wrong. We have to be strong enough to admit that we need help. So life is really, really tough for a lot of people right now. So that's all I try to do, is try and raise that point, and awareness. Shelley says, hello friend, just come on to wish you the very best with your channel. Thank you, Shelley. Welcome, and thank you for joining in the live and putting your comment out there. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. And I will keep going, and I will keep posting content every single day on my channel, as well as motivational posts, as well as going live. I want to help people, and if I can help one person in life get the help that they need for their mental illness, then that's a win for me. This channel was created as like a video diary that I could talk about my mental health. I could try and verbalize what was going on in my head. I could verbalize those suicidal thoughts. I could verbalize those depressive thoughts, and those depressive feelings, and that feeling of emptiness, and numbness to emotion. And it became more than a video diary. I learned that I could create content that other people could resonate with. So I create content to try and help people. I'm not the best video editor. I'm not the best video creator. I've never been that very tech savvy. All my videos are just honest, raw, and I try and support and help other people, not based on who they are, where they're from, what their past might have been. It's irrelevant. I judge people on who they are today, and I judge people on where they're going, because it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going, and you need to get on that road to recovery, because that's important. So really, thank you, Shelley Harper, for your comment. I really appreciate your support. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health, so if you have any questions, please do get those questions in. It's really important that that you ask any questions that you might have, about the channel, about my content, and just introduce yourself and be a part of the channel, be a part of the community I'm trying to build. There's so many communities on YouTube now. There's so many mental health channels. A lot of them, there's a lot of AI mental health channels. There's a lot of therapists and counselors, with YouTube channels. But I think it's very rare that you find someone who is just a normal person, who has nothing in life, who is going nowhere, who feels that way about themselves. It's very rare that you can find a channel that's so honest and so, I don't blame anyone other than myself for the way I am. The place that I start is the man looking at me in the mirror, and once you can do that, and once you can face yourself, you can face anything. Because fear stops us from facing our own problems, and we try and help other people, and we try and do things to please other people, and we seek external validation. But when you face your demons, when you face your feelings, when you face that darkness, you will find a light. And you know what the best thing is about being at rock bottom, if there's anything good about being at rock bottom, is that you can build on rock bottom. It's sturdy enough for you to build your life again, and the only way is up. So don't give up. You know, it's important that you know that. It's important that you can overcome those fears and those barriers, and you can get on the road to recovery. Because if I can do it, then you guys can do it. So get your questions in. It's a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery, so please do get your questions in. If you have any questions, guys, don't forget, keep your questions YouTube safe. Be mindful of others. Be mindful of what you're saying, because, you know, everyone is different, and everyone, you know, everyone deserves to be heard, and everyone deserves to be treated with respect. Everyone deserves to be treated with kindness. And everyone deserves the opportunity to share their story. So please do get your questions in. Shelley says, that's very true. You can't get lower. Absolutely. There is no lower than rock bottom. So once you're there, the only thing you can do is build on that. The only thing you can do is build a platform and keep moving forward one day at a time, and climb that staircase of recovery. You don't have to take all the steps at once. Just take the first step, and then the next day take the next step. Go at your speed. But one day, when you build from rock bottom, you will get to the top again. So, you know, and I think we underestimate how powerful the human mind can be, the will to live, the resilience that human beings have. You know, we've lost, in an age of AI and in an age of, you know, social media, people have lost the ability to connect. People have lost that human connection that we should never lose. You know, yes, AI is good for many different things, and so is social media, but we should never lose sight of the fact that we're human beings and we have certain needs that need to be fulfilled. And you know, I want to connect with human beings. I want to connect with people. You know, I thought about adding AI videos to my channel, but I decided against it because I wanted my channel to be honest. I wanted my channel to be raw. I wanted to share opinions based on my experiences and other people's experiences. So, and I'd be happy to have any of you guys do a video with me to talk about mental health. We can record a video on my channel. If you want to share your story, if you want to talk about your mental health, then we can arrange to film a video, and I will get that uploaded on my channel, and my channel and my subscribers can see you talk about your mental health. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then my email address is attached to my account information, and I would be happy to record a video and talk about your mental health with you. Shelley says, there's one thing for sure, I'm going to learn a lot here. Thank you for being honest. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And I think if I wasn't honest with myself, I'd be dead. If I wasn't honest with myself, you know, I wouldn't be able to recover. I wouldn't be working with my therapist. I wouldn't be working with my counselor. I wouldn't be working with my psychologist to get to a point where I'm on, you know, I'm on the right road to recovery. So if I need to be honest with myself, because I need to deal with my insecurities, my trauma, my nightmares, my flashbacks, because if I don't face them, then ultimately they'll face me. So I can only be honest, and I've got nothing left to lose, especially when you come from a point of view that once you accept, like in 2022, I accepted that I wanted my life to be over. I knew I wanted it to end. So that certainty that came with knowing that I wanted to end my life, Um, once you get to that acceptance, it's very hard to come back from. But I have come back from that through help and support with my counsellor and my therapist. You know, I'm pushing for the correct mental health because it's been a long, hard journey to get the correct mental health treatment that I need. Yes, there's waiting lists, but I'm on those lists. You know, so if I can come back from the brink of suicidal thoughts, and the brink of wanting to end my life, then you can do it as well. But you have to be honest with yourself, and I think you owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself. You owe it to yourself to admit your mistakes, admit your flaws, and face your insecurities. Because there's no point in being dishonest with yourself. Because let me tell you, the best relationship you'll ever have in life is the one that you have with yourself, because you're with yourself 24 hours a day. So why not nurture that relationship? Why not make that relationship with yourself better? Why not be honest with yourself, and improve, regardless of anything else externally? The only validation you need is the internal. So validate yourself, validate your trauma, your feelings. They're all valid. And you know, I think we can all do with a dose of honesty sometimes. And I'm very honest with myself. And it's important. Rust says you're a wizard, Harry. I'm assuming that's a play on the fact that Harry Potter wore glasses. Absolute idiot, moron. You just got yourself blocked. And that feeling at the top of your spine, that's your neck being wound in, pal. You've just been blocked. Absolute idiot, moron, simpleton. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health. But another idiot just got blocked. Simpletons can't have an adult grown-up conversation about important subjects. Absolute idiots. Morons, simpletons. But you get them in every life. Unfortunately, you know, some people just want to be negative. Some people just want to see the world burn because they hate themselves, because they can't face themselves, because they can't face what they've done, because they can't face or admit the mistakes that they've made. I can. I admit every single mistake that I've made, and I face every single regret that I swim in, because I swim in regret every single day of my life. But I face those. I embrace it, I accept it, and I move on, and I keep moving forward. And to anyone else, to the haters and the trolls, you know, just go fuck yourself. This is a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery, not to take the mick out of people, not to put people down, not to make people feel bad, because no one in this world has the divine right to make someone else feel bad for no reason. So who do you think you are? You're just a keyboard warrior hiding behind a keyboard. Joel says praying for your recovery. Thank you, Joel. And I am working with my therapist and counsellor. I am on the waiting list for treatment for the PTSD. So I will keep going, keep moving forward. Today's a good day. I have extremely bad days and I have good days. And today is a good day. You know, settling in on new medication as well. So, you know, I try to show up on the times that that I say I'm going to show up to try and help people. That's all I do. It is what it is. I am who I am. And my journey is my journey. And I'm not ashamed of my mental illness anymore. It's a part of my story. It's a part of who I am. It's made me who I am today. Joel says, what's your life goal? Well, that's a great question, Joel. One of the best questions I've had in all of the lives that I've done. My life goal is to be the best life coach I can be with my life coaching, through my life coaching business, and to win the silver and gold plaque, YouTube gold and silver plaque on this channel. Those are my life goals. To win the 2 plaques for this channel, and to be the best life coach I can be and grow my life coaching business, that's my professional life. This is my personal channel to talk about mental health. Jay says, hi bro, how's it going? Lost my girlfriend, death 6 years. 18,000 walk daily or football help if not mental. Really sorry for your loss, Jay. Grief is an incredibly powerful emotion, and you have to be able to sit with your grief. You have to be able to you have to grieve, because your body needs to grieve. And just try and remember the good days. Try and remember the good times that you had. Try and do things that make you happy. Walking, playing a sport, a hobby, whatever it may be. Just, let your body grieve, let yourself grieve, and then move forward, and plan your life. Joel says, where do you see yourself in 10 years or 20? Well, hopefully, I see myself with a thriving life coaching business and a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers. That's what I hope for. That's my dream. That's the goal. And if I can take a mental health channel and get to 100,000 subscribers for the silver plaque, and then the 1 million subscribers for the gold plaque, what an achievement that would be for someone who is just talking about mental health. So, that's where I see myself, as a flourishing life coach with a great business and a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers. Joel says, do you feel you're in a good position to life coach others? Another good question. Yes, I do, because I believe that my lived experience of mental illness helps me in my coaching. I have multiple diplomas in coaching now, 6 diplomas in total. I'm able to use my lived experience of my mental illness and use that experience when I speak to clients, because it's important that I have a purpose and a passion, and that is coaching. And when I'm doing that, I'm not worried about my mental health. When I'm doing that, I'm helping people. And my lived experience of mental illness and surviving it will help me become a better coach. So yes, I am in a position where I can life coach, because I've proved to myself that I can do it. I've proved to myself I can get the qualifications that I needed, which I did. I can prove to myself that I can launch the business, which I have. So 100%, I am in a position where I can take on clients and life coach, because it's my passion, it's my purpose. Joel says, what's the unique piece of advice that you can give someone? The most unique? Well, there's something there's something that I tell myself, and that I've always said, and I first said it on a radio show in Cardiff, when I was invited onto a radio station. I think what people need to realise, this fact, this statement: we are all born champions. Some of us just haven't found our belts yet, and that basically means you were born to be a champion. You just need to find your purpose. You need to find your path, and once you do, you will get your belt. So the most unique advice I can give you is that you were born to be a champion. It just takes time to find your belt. Joel says, who's your favorite life coach? I'm inspired by Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty, Mel Robbins, Dr. Gabe Mate. I listen to Theo, although Theo Von is not a life coach, but I do watch his podcast. I watch various different Brene Brown, as well. So take your pick. And while I was studying and while I was getting my diplomas in coaching, I was watching Jay Shetty, podcasts by Jay Shetty, Mel Robbins, Dr. Gabe Mate, Brene Brown, Kai Morton, Dr. Kai Morton, on YouTube. So, I've studied, I've got the diplomas. Happy to show you if you want me to flip the screen and you can have a look at all my diplomas. Or you can check out my website, which shows my story. Um, and the best coaches are people who have been through who have been through real life experiences. And I've come back from the brink of suicide, PTSD, depression, anxiety, ADHD, to get qualified to become a life coach. So if I can do it, then you can do it. So I my coaching is all about understanding where you are in life, understanding where you're going, understanding your purpose, cultivating your purpose, and finding a way for you to get on the right path to recovery. So, look, that's my life coaching business. That's separate to this channel. This channel is my personal mental health channel. But I do have a professional life. I am a life coach, and I am actively accepting new clients as well. So if you do want to check out my coaching website, it's www.vegasvisionarycoaching.com. That's my life coaching business page. Also on TikTok, Instagram as well. So I'm trying to grow the business. My coaching is very affordable. But that's separate to this channel. This channel is about mental health, and I think it's important that you understand that it's my lived experience that makes me a good coach, because I've been in those places where people are starting from. I've been in that darkness. I've lived in that darkness. What's a cultural norm you don't believe in? Good question. But I try not to. I try not to disprove or agree with people's opinions or beliefs. I have my own beliefs. And I think people in society are entitled to live by whatever standards they see fit. But I don't get involved in politics or cultural wars or cultural discussions. I have my own beliefs, which I'll keep to myself. But living the life the way you want to, as long as you're doing that, that's fine. Eamon 208 says S. I don't know what that means. You have to clarify what that means. Not sure what you're asking. Smeg, I don't know what it is. So I don't know what you're asking of me. Really appreciate you, all your questions, Joel. Thank you. Some of the best questions I've had on any of my lives. And I really appreciate your support and your interaction with the live. So thank you. I go live twice a week, every Wednesday and every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, for 1 hour to engage and talk to you. To engage and talk to you guys out there. So, Galaxy Edit says, "Do you believe in Jesus Christ?" Yes, I do believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and my Savior. But again, people are entitled to their own. Everyone's entitled to worship whatever religion that they see fit. So, but for me, yes, Jesus Christ is Lord. Yeah. Hi, Galaxy Edits. Thank you for joining in. Really appreciate you engaging in the chat. I will start going live on my on my life coaching channel soon to take new clients in. So keep an eye out for that. Joel says, my favorite film. Wow. Great question. A bit niche for me, but I would say my top 5 films, in no particular order, are Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Dirty Dancing, Crimson Tide, and Gladiator. But I'm a massive horror fan as well. So I love the Conjuring universe. I love Freddy. I love Chucky. I love Jason. Michael Myers. Huge horror fan as well. So besides the horror genre, I would say those five. But I'm a huge fan of the horror genre, and I love Pennywise. I love It. I love the Welcome to Derry series was really good. So yeah, huge horror fan. But I would say in no particular order, those were my favorite top 5 films. Crimson Tide is the one with Denzel Washington. Dirty Dancing is a classic. Everyone should know that. Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, amazing. Marvel peak. Yeah, and Gladiator is just legendary. Joel says Endgame is... Yeah, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I've got most of the Avengers tattooed somewhere on me. There's Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, there's Moon Knight, Ant-Man and Black Panther on the arms, Daredevil. I've got Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man. I got Thor's hammer. I'm a huge Marvel fan, so yeah, Endgame is quite niche, but it was Marvel peak. And I'm so excited this year for Doomsday, which is out in December. And obviously Spider-Man's out as well. Marvel's going to really cook this year because they've got coming up at the end of March. They got Daredevil Born Again season 2. They got Vision Quest. They got Spider-Man Brand New Day, and they have the Punisher special, and then they have Doomsday, which I'm excited to see Robert Downey Jr. play Doctor Doom. Joel says, did you see the Spider-Man trailer? Yes, I did. I thought it was really good. Super excited to see the Punisher in a live-action MCU film. Super excited to see the Hulk and see how they all interact with each other. Frank Castle is a legend. John Bernthal is a legend. He is one of the best casting decisions ever. And I can't wait to see him interact with Spider-Man and the Hulk. So really excited to see Spider-Man. But everyone knows Avengers Doomsday is going to be the biggest Marvel film of all time. Joel says, what's my biggest regret? Trying to kill myself. And that's just me being honest. My biggest regret is wanting to end my life in 2022. Twice. Those are my 2 biggest regrets. And that's just me being honest. It's hard to say that. It's hard to admit that. But yeah, me trying to end my life twice would be my biggest regret. My greatest achievement on the flip side in life is my son. My son is my greatest achievement. But my biggest regret is the suicide attempts, yes. Great question. Thank you for your question. I really appreciate that. And I'm just being honest. And I'm always, quite blunt. I'm always straight to the point. I don't beat around the bush. I don't change my language. My biggest regrets are wanting to end my life. This is a live Q&A, guys, so if you have any questions, do get your questions in. I really appreciate everyone who's commented tonight. I really appreciate everyone who's Joel says, have you been in love? Yes, I have. Of course, I have. I'm 42 years of age, so I have many years of life experience. So of course I've experienced love. So, and I think everyone in life would have at some point either been in love or been lost in love. So of course, yeah. Of course I am, yeah. Of course I have. But the best, I will go back to what I said earlier. I need to love myself more, and I need to have a better relationship with myself, because sometimes I'm so self-critical of myself. Sometimes I punish myself when I self-harm, when I talk down to myself, when I tell myself I can't do these things. So I need to improve my relationship with myself. Do you like Peep Show? What is the Peep Show, Joel? I'm not sure what that is. Is it something that I should like? Is it something I should be watching, or is it a TV show? Is it a podcast? What is the? It's a comedy. Is it a film? I've never heard of a film or comedy called The Peep. Comedy wise, I love Jimmy Carr, Matt Rife, and I find what's that Liverpool guy? I can't think of his name. He's from Liverpool. Paul something, I believe. It's a British comedy show. No, my favourite British comedy show of all time is Only Fools and Horses, and Fawlty Towers. Can't beat the classics. But I will look into the Peep Show. I haven't heard of it before. Maybe I have, but I've just forgotten about it or something. I will check that out though. Thank you for getting involved and getting in the chat. Really appreciate that, Joel. Don't forget, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Pieces of a Broken Mind is a mental health channel designed to help people talk about mental health and start the conversation surrounding mental health. So like, comment, and subscribe where you can, guys. It's only a few clicks for you, but it's massively important for the channel, because one day I want to get those YouTube plaques. I want to say that mental health is won. I want to say that mental health awareness has won, and has been able to succeed on YouTube. So please do subscribe. Please get involved. Please share the channel. Please tell everyone about the channel. This channel is something, and it could be an engine for change. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe where you can. Last couple of minutes of the live, guys. I have been live since 7 p.m. So I always go live for 1 hour. I will be live again Sunday evening at 7 p.m. And hopefully soon I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go when I'm starting to feel better, and because I have more bad days than good days recently. When I start having more good days than bad days, then I'll start going live maybe 3 times a week. But for now, I'll just stick to the two times a week, one midweek, one end of the week, and allow myself to, because it takes a lot out of me talking about my mental health, because I have to revisit places in my mind that I don't really want to go. When you hear the word lobster head, what do you? I don't know what that means. I thought lobster was seafood. Oh, you calling me that? I'm not sure what that is. Last couple of minutes of the live, guys. Get any final questions if you have any. Get those questions in quickly, because not calling you that. I'm planning on using that word for something. Lobster. I would always say is seafood. Like, but I don't know in what context you would use that word, but okay, good luck with that, whatever that is. Right, this is the last 30 seconds, guys. If you have any final questions, please get them in now. And if not, I will see you all Sunday at 7 p.m. UK time for another live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery. So please do get your final questions in before I go. I really appreciate everyone who has participated, who has commented, who has been a part of the live. Shelley says, till the next time, goodbye. See you soon, Shelley. I will be live on Sunday at 7 p.m. To again have a live Q&A to talk about mental health. Joel says, thoughts on Andrew Tate? Well, I agree with some of the things that Andrew Tate says. I agree with some of his views. Not all of them. Some of the stuff he says makes sense. But I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan because there's plenty I disagree with. But each to their own. And I respect everyone's right to free speech. I respect everyone's right to have their own opinion. And of course, he's obviously very successful money-wise, so he's rich, I'm not. I'm skint, he's not, you know. So he's obviously doing something better than me. But, hey, look. I believe everyone has the right to their own opinions, and I believe everyone has the right to free speech. And I believe that we need to respect each other's views, whether we agree with them or not. We're human beings. We have free speech. Thoughts on Jiminy Cricket? Is that the character from Pinocchio? Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio was a legend, of course. I have a question for you, Joel. What is your most viewed YouTube channel currently? What YouTube channel are you most into? Because I watch a lot of YouTube channels. United Stand, because I'm a Man United fan. WWE I watch on YouTube. You know, I watch True Crime on YouTube. What's a channel that you're really into at the moment? If you've got any recommendations on a channel that I should be watching, possibly. Besides, yes, absolutely. Joel, your number one channel that you should be watching on YouTube is Pieces of a Broken Mind. So, yes, thank you. That is number one. But what would you say is number two? Tell me another channel that you're really interested in. Butterstick says hi. Good evening, Butterstick. Welcome. You're just popping in at the end of the live. So if you have any questions, get them in quickly. Remember, this was a live Q&A to talk about mental health and recovery, and I really appreciate everyone who's participated, who's commented, who's liked, commented or subscribed. So thank you, everyone, for your support. It means a lot to me. You guys mean a lot to me. My subscribers mean a lot to me. You give me purpose. You give me hope. And you allow me to keep going. So thank you to everyone. And thank you to all of my subscribers to my channel. Joel, I would say H-Bomber Guy. Okay, I'll have a look at that. What sort of channel is it? Butterstick says, no questions, just wanted to be here. Thank you, Butterstick, for being here. Thank you for showing support to the live. Really appreciate that. This channel is about mental health and recovery and normal people talking about mental health, starting the conversation, and challenging stigma and discrimination, and trying to grow the message that it's okay to talk. Media and culture analysis. Okay, I'll check that out. Once I finish this live, I'll have a quick look at what that channel is all about. Thank you for your recommendation. There will be, once I finish my live, I will be posting 3 motivational posts that I've wrote ready in my community tab to, try and motivate you guys and try and help you, with your mental health as well. So Dr. K is a good channel for mental health. I'll check that one out as well. So I will, Dr. K, and I will be checking out H Bomber Guy and Dr. K once this live is finished. But a stick says, I'm interested. I'll check your channel. Thank you very much. This is I appreciate everyone who watches my videos, who subscribes. You guys gives me purpose, gives me something to continue with. So thank you to everyone who has been a part of this channel. Thank you to everyone who might be a part of this channel in the future. And if you do support raising mental health awareness, challenging stigma, and starting that conversation, then this is the channel for you. Pieces of a Broken Mind, Mental Health and Recovery. Thank you everyone for watching. Look after yourself. Look after your family and friends. And I will see you all Sunday evening, 7 p.m, live UK time.